Good afternoon, good evening, good morning for some of you. Welcome to this first webinar dedicated to to present you the 28th IFCU General Assembly. So thank you for being with us. Some of you are finishing your day. Other in Latin America, for example, our friend from Mexico are starting their day. So thank you very much for your time and for your interest to this webinar and much more on the next IFCU General Assembly. So my name is Nicolas Vergier. I'm the partnership manager at the Federation, and I will be pleased to share the floor today with my colleague Loïc Roche. He's the head of communication and of the training program. And also we have a special guest, Dr. Franck Violet from the Catholic University of Lyon. He's vice rector for internationalization, and he will share with us his experience of IFCU General Assembly. So I hope you are fine, you are well seated. So I will just give you the dynamic of this webinar. We will share with you the main element, the key moment of the General Assembly, also share with you some practical information, why also it can be interesting and relevant for you to attend to this General Assembly, which is quite special, and I will tell you why. And also, don't hesitate during this webinar to use the chat for asking questions, but also to share comments. And at the end of this presentation, we'll take the time to reply to your question and also maybe to react on your comment. So it's interesting because from today we are almost at 2 months before the opening of this General Assembly. This General Assembly, as I was saying, is particular for several aspects. So, let me go back to the beginning of my presentation. So this General Assembly is the 28th General Assembly because you may know or not, the Federation organizes its General Assembly every 3 years. So every 3 years, we have a new event that can be considered as a summit of Catholic higher education. And each General Assembly has its own main topic. And then this topic is divided and discussed in subtopic during some workshop or plenary session. So generally, the topic concerns a strategic aspect of our institution. So why this General Assembly that will take place, I remind you, will take place the last week of July in the UNIVA, the University del Valle de Atemajac in Mexico, in the city of Guadalajara. So it's the first time that the IFCU General Assembly takes place in Mexico. Knowing that in Mexico you have more than 40 Catholic universities. So also another important element of this event, that this General Assembly will close the IFCU centenary celebration. As you may know, the Federation has been founded in 1924 with a group of 10 universities, and we have started to celebrate the first centenary of the Federation, 100 years of activity. Last year, we start with event conference in Rome in January 2024. And I know that some of you honor us of your presence. And I will say the last moment, the closing of this celebration will take place during this General Assembly. Another important aspect is the main topic of this General Assembly. And I have to say that we have worked hard with the IFCU board to find an interesting and an inspiring topic, which is Catholic universities as choreographer of knowledge. So this topic, in fact, will be discussed from different aspects. As you will see in the program, we'll talk about peace, we'll talk by academic integrity, we'll talk about the link between higher education and culture, and much more. And as I said, the location is quite iconic because, first of all, the city of Guadalajara is one of the most beautiful cities of Mexico. And I'm not saying that because we're organizing the General Assembly there, but knowing that Mexico is a country very rich culturally, but Guadalajara has a history, the state of Jalisco, and Guadalajara is also considered as the Silicon Valley of Mexico. And that is an interesting point regarding also the program, because we have, for this edition, introduced some, I will say, new aspects. We made some change to the former edition, to the former format of IFCU General Assembly. So first time in Mexico, first time in the city of Guadalajara, an inspiring topic, Catholic University Choreographer of Knowledge, and of course, an important element, we will close the IFCU Centenary celebration. So just to give you some highlights regarding the program, as you may know, the General Assembly will start on July 28th, so Monday, and finish and end on Friday, August 1st. So it's a 5-day event. So during the 5 day, we have, I will say, some highlights. So the first one is the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony will take place in the afternoon of July 28th with important leaders, not only from the academic world, but also from the church. So we'll have the honor to have the participation of the prefect of the Dicastery for Culture and Education, Cardinal Tolentino de Mendoza. But also we'll have a speech from the IFCU president, Professor Isabel Capello-Agil, and also from ecclesiastical authority, ecclesiastical Mexican authority, for example, the Bishop of Guadalajara. And then we will continue in the afternoon with a keynote speech on academic diplomacy. So we'll have a special guest, and then a group of 3 respondents coming from 3 different continents and 3 different universities that will react and reply to the keynote speech on academic diplomacy. On day 2, we'll have also the honor to count on the speech from Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs is a famous American economist, and his studies have been involved on social impact. So we will listen him with great attention, and also same dynamic. He will give a keynote speech, and we have invited some university rector to respond to him. And during this event also, you will see in the program, we have also workshop and moment of networking. So workshop, we understand by that, and maybe Frank will say some word about that, because we have introduced this notion of workshop during the last edition in Boston, 2022. The idea is to have a topic and invite universities that can share, their experience on this topic. For example, in Boston, we had one interesting workshop related to the financial situation, the financial balance of Catholic University, or to deal with knowing that in 2022 we were just living, we were exiting from the pandemic, so how to deal with budget stretch, budget limitation. So we had invited 3 university rectors from Asia, from Latin America, and from Europe to talk about this topic, to tackle this topic, and how they find solution in terms of finding financial balance. So that was a quite participating and interesting workshop, because the idea is to give the floor to, as I said, 2 or 3 university representatives not only to listen to them, but to interact with them. They will share their experience, good practices from their university, from their experience, and then a discussion will start with the participant. And what we have decided for this General Assembly, that we will organize this workshop by language in order to facilitate interaction of the participants. So some workshop will be organized only in English, and in the meantime, another workshop will be organized in Spanish or in French. Like that, the participant will be can attend to one of these workshops regarding, the language facilities. So on day 3 to from day 3 to day 5, we will have also panels related to faith, or to maintain, faith and Catholic identity in their campus. As I said, we will discuss also about the connection, the relation between education and culture. We'll talk about also ecology. We will have a panel discussion on the Laudato Si, focus on, the work of Catholic University on, for example, on Amazonia. Also, we'll have a panel discussion on research strategy. And of course, the General Assembly is not, IFCU General Assembly can't be a General Assembly without a cultural program. So for that, we are quite lucky in Mexico. There are so many places to visit. And for example, on Tuesday, we will have a Mexican night. So we will have dinner on the campus, and we will recreate the atmosphere of a Mexican village during the dinner, with colors, with table, with the food. And I won't tell you more about that. We made a trial for the dinner, and you will be surprised. It will be very friendly, and the food will be absolutely delicious. So also on Wednesday, we will have meetings and workshop only in the morning, and the afternoon on Wednesday will be dedicated to a cultural visit to Tequila, to the town of Tequila. It's a beautiful place, famous, of course, for tequila, but the architecture and the story of this town is absolutely beautiful. And we will bring you to old mansion, a place where they produce tequila from years. It's a family mansion, and you will test different kind of tequila, learn about the production process of tequila, and then on site in this mansion, we'll have a beautiful lunch with a particular music band, very famous in Mexico, but I won't tell you more. That's why you have to come and join us in Guadalajara. Of course, a General Assembly, it's a time where we elect, it's a time for election. So the member are bringing together to vote, to take some decision. For example, we will renew the board of directors of the Federation. And so you will be invited to vote during the General Assembly, and also to decide which university will be the next host for the next General Assembly in 2028. Also on Thursday evening, we have, I will say, we can call it a gala dinner. For that, we will bring you to a very historic place in the historical center of Guadalajara. It's a beautiful and precious place. And there we will have one of the last dinner of General Assembly, and also during this dinner, the moment where we have this award ceremony to give award to some rectors, but also to some university for their work. And also a new thing that we have introduced for this General Assembly, it's what we call learning visit. So we have 2 learning visits, one on Tuesday and another one on Friday morning. And the one on Friday morning, the last day, will be to the Intel Center in Guadalajara. Intel is a US company working on the digital industry. So they have a huge Research and Innovative Center in Guadalajara. So all the participants will have the pleasure to discover this center of innovation, because it's also a center of research. And what will be interesting during this visit, that we'll have a speech and discussion between Intel representative, but also to learn how Intel is working with Catholic University. Because Intel in Mexico has agreement in collaboration with some Catholic university there. And what we think could be interesting for you as participants is to see how a Catholic university in other place, in other part of the world, can get connection and collaboration with some private company as big as Intel regarding innovation, research development. And it's also, that can be good example of the relation between the ecosystem between university and industry. And maybe after this learning visit, that can be some interesting ideas for you when you will come back to university. So I'm speaking too much, but I would like, to give the floor to someone who attended to the last 2 editions of the IFCU General Assembly. When I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about 2018. We had a General Assembly host in the St. Patrick College in Ireland, in Maynooth, close to Dublin. It was already in 2018. And also the following one in Boston in 2022. It was a General Assembly just after the pandemic. And we had, for both editions, and for the coming one, we'll have the honor of having the presence and the participation of Dr. Franck Violet. Franck is Vice Rector for International Development and for Europe at the Catholic University of Lyon in France, but he's also the Secretary General of the Association of European Catholic University, the FIUC, which is a sister association of IFCU. So Franck is a very close collaborator and partner of the Federation, and he knows quite well what is the IFCU General Assembly. So what we consider can be interesting is just to listen to Franck and let Franck to tell us what he thinks about IFCU General Assembly, in good or in bad. Feel free, Franck, to share your experience and your point of view, just to give you to share your testimony of what can be a General Assembly and why it can be also interesting for a university representative to attend to such an event.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicolas. You can hear me correctly? Yes, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay,
perfect.
So thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, Loïc, and hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to to discuss with everybody. I see that we have lots of people who attend this webinar, and I'm very happy to share my experience. As Nicolas said, I attended the 2 previous GA, so it was in Ireland and in the US in 2018 and 2022, and that was frankly very interesting. And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's very interesting and why I'm going, of course, to attend the next GA in Guadalajara. The fact is that when you attend such an event, well, let's say that the most important is that you are going to meet lots of people. And as everybody knows that in our job, the most important is to talk, to be in relation, to discuss with our colleagues from all over the world. And let's say that when you think about that, we can say that each of us must travel each year quite often, travel in Asia, travel in Europe, travel in the US, well, let's say everywhere in the world, and there is a real cost. To be honest, there is a real cost. This is why we have to make some choices. And the fact is that when you attend such an event as the GA of the IFCU, the fact is that you are going to meet not one partner, but dozens of partners. Let's say hundreds of partners, And this is very important because, of course, there is a program, and I discovered, like you, the program, which seems really amazing. But at the same time, so you have some plenary sessions, workshop, and so on. But you have also, and you know that in this kind of event, you have time to discuss. For instance, during the coffee break, or during the dinner, or during the trip in the framework of an excursion, and you have the time to discuss with your colleagues from another university. And this is the most, I would say, this is the most interesting, because you have time to make an update about your relation. You have the time also to imagine new ways of collaboration with this partner, but you have also the opportunity to meet new potential partners. And so let's say that when I attend such an event, frankly, up to me, I save money. I save money because I know that I won't have to travel in lots of other places in the world, because I don't have enough money, but also because I have met these people here in that point, in that place. Here we are talking about Guadalajara. So I would say that, to summarize, I would say that the most important up to me is, of course, the topic and what's going on in the GA, but also the network. This is just something very important, and especially for people just like us, who have different positions, such as a head of international relations or a vice rector for international relations, and so on. In that case, you can discuss with your homologues, you can discuss with your colleagues who have the same position, and this is, I would say, the most important. At the same time, of course, you will have the opportunity to attend different workshops dedicated to specific topics. But once again, I think that what is the most relevant is the network. So this is my first, direct testimony, I would say.
Thank you very much, Frank, for sharing this testimony. And yes, you're right. The idea of the General Assembly is to bring together all the members, the rectors, the vice rector, but also we encourage the participation, and we say that we say the same thing. We advise the rector to come also with the people, the international team, because we realized during the last 2 editions that each edition we have more and more people involved in international relation field. We have more and more head of international relation, and I can tell you that at the moment, regarding the registrations, that we have, of course, many rectors, but also more than the two past edition, more directors or heads or vice rector for international relation, because they have heard that this General Assembly, the IFCU General Assembly, is a good place for networking. And in addition to that, you will see in the program that we mentioned that there were some networking moments, and in fact, we will use an app. Each participant will have access to a specific event application, where in fact you can contact other participants to schedule, plan a short meeting during this networking moment. You will have the list of the participants, and if you want to get in touch with one of these participants from Asia, from Europe, or Latin America, you can notify to this person that you would like to meet her or him during this networking moment. And that is another possibility, another moment to do some networking. But as Frank said, you have several moments. You have, of course, the plenary session, the workshop, the coffee break, but also the different dinner. So that will facilitate the networking and the connection among the participants. And one thing which is quite important that I can tell you now, that we have an interesting geographical distribution regarding the participant at the moment. For the program, of course, when we have a workshop or plenary session, we are very attentive to the fact that we want, people from different regions of the world take the floor, not only have a Western perspective, but we want to have also speakers from Asia, from Africa, from Latin America, from Europe, because that make interesting also the cross views, the cross perspective, the cross experience that make the Federation and the IFCU General Assembly so special. I don't know, Frank, if you have another point or another remark you would like to share with our attendees today.
Well, let's say that I definitely agree with you, Nicolas. Once again, yes, there is the network. There is also the fact that you can have the opportunity to have some, some contacts that you wouldn't have in other places. I mean that here you can meet people who share same values.
True.
And let's say that our Catholic universities are, of course, open to the world and to private universities or public universities, of course. But at the same time, I think it's important to keep in mind that our international network, the IFCU, is probably the largest network of the world when we are talking about universities. And so this is to say that we have the opportunity to get in touch with another institution, often, to be honest, prestigious institution, very easily, because you're gonna meet a rector or a vice rector, so that it's quite an interesting level, to have a contact and to start talking about a potential new cooperation. And I would say that this is the most important up to me when I attend this kind of event. Despite the fact that, of course, it is also very interesting to listen to all these prestigious guests, and that's very interesting, of course, and I will be very happy with this program. But once again, talking with the people of this network is just an amazing, up to me, an amazing opportunity, and that's a paradox, but once again, you said money, up to me.
Thank you very much, Frank, for your testimonial and for sharing this experience of the General Assembly. So just before to give the floor and to replies to answer to some questions that I suppose we have in the chat, I would like to give you some also reason or why it's important, and it's related to what just Frank has said, that you will meet university from all over the world. For example, we have participants from Nigeria, from the biggest Catholic university in Nigeria. We'll have people from Philippines. We have people from Macau, China, from Australia, from Europe, from Africa, West Africa, from North America, Latin America, of course, Central America, Chile, Argentina, France, Italy, Spain, and much more. So yes, the General Assembly is a place to engage discussion with all these different stakeholders at the global level. And what is interesting, and you're right, Frank, you can have an easy access to some prestigious university, but not only. The IFCU General Assembly is open to all our members, and knowing that yes, the IFCU network is the largest network of Catholic university in the world, the oldest also. But one thing that I like to underline is we have a diversity of university members. We have university that can be from a smaller size to much bigger. So we have universities that have less than 1,000 students. We have also universities that are between 1,000, 5,000 students and more. And this place is open to all of you because you, as IFCU member, you are the federation itself. So it's also a moment where you can do networking, but in fact, you can promote your institution. So in terms of visibility, other university will know about your institution and also not only know, but what kind of opportunity your university, your institution can offer and also be interesting too. And of course, that is the last point I would like to say is related to the event, the program. The idea is to, when you leave, when the General Assembly close and you go back after to your university, that what we hope you will get new ideas, new collaboration, and maybe also you will learn from the experience of other institutions, because it's a moment for networking, to discuss, to meet, to know, but also to listen how other Catholic universities are working on specific topic regarding pastoral activity, regarding to maintain and to promote Catholic faith and values. I was talking we have a discussion panel about academic freedom, but also a relation between how to implement, how to promote culture in the campus, so relation between education and culture. So that are some good reasons to join the General Assembly. So in terms of practical information, there is an event website. So if you have not already visited this website, after this webinar, we will send you an email with this presentation, but also with some links, the link to access to the General Assembly website, where you can have a look to the program, see the main speaker, and also start the registration process. One important information, it's important to repeat it. We will have simultaneous translation in French, in English, in Spanish, possibly also in Portuguese, in order to facilitate understanding and dialogue between the participants, and in order also for you to get the best of what our speakers will share with us. Regarding also accommodation, we have negotiated with 4 hotels in the city of Guadalajara with very decent price for a very good service, knowing that one practical aspect, all participants will be hosted in these 4 hotels, and every morning and evening you will have a bus shuttle that will pick you up from your hotel and drop you at the UNIVA campus, where the General Assembly will take place, and bring back to your hotel at the end of the day or at the end of the dinner. And same thing for the cultural visit. The meals, lunch, coffee break, and dinners are included also in the registration fee, like the translation service, and much more. Also some gift. You will see that. And one important thing, and we are working on that very early, all participants can benefit for visa assistance. Knowing that some country will need a visa to enter to Mexico, we can provide invitation letter of support, and if necessary also with the support of UNIVA team, to accelerate the process through the Mexican authority. So that is for the practical information. So yes, I won't tell you more. As you can see, this event is interesting, and I hope you find it interesting. It will be inspiring, definitively. And so I think you have all the good reason to join us in Guadalajara. It will be a very interesting event, inspiring, stimulating, but also it will be it will be also a friendly event in the way that we have a program which is quite formal, academic, but also culturally. And the idea is to also celebrate this moment with joy and with friendship. So we will close the celebration of the IFCU centenary. We will also think about how to shape the future of Catholic higher education. And for any question you will have after this webinar, please don't hesitate to contact us, me, Nicolas, and my colleague Loic. And here you have our email address. But as I said a few minutes ago, we will send you an email after this webinar with some information, including this presentation. So once again, do not hesitate to contact us after this webinar on the next days also. If you would like to attend to the IFCU General Assembly in Guadalajara last week of July, from July 28th to August 1st include, so from Monday to Friday. And we remain at your entire disposal for any other question. And thank you again for your time, for your availability, and hope to see you soon in this beautiful city of Guadalajara. So take care and have a nice day, a good night, and see you very soon.